Oban Elliott's career and how Stoicism plays an essential role in shaping a fighter's mindset, focusing more on his personal story, the challenges he faces in his journey, and how Stoic principles may influence his approach to fighting and life. Oban Elliott, career overview and rise in the UFC. Oban Elliott, a British mixed martial artist, has been a rising star in the UFC, a promotion known for its intense physical and psychological demands. As of 2024, Elliott has proven himself to be a formidable force in the UFC's Flyweight division, bringing a strong skill set and impressive work ethic to the octagon. While still early in his UFC career, Elliott has shown great promise with a blend of striking and grappling skills that make him a well-rounded fighter. Despite his relatively young career, Elliott has already demonstrated the kind of mental fortitude and determination that are central to any successful fighter's journey, traits that make him an ideal candidate to embody Stoic principles. Background and early career. Before joining the UFC, Oban Elliott honed his craft on the regional circuit, where he faced a mix of well-established fighters and up-and-coming talents. His journey to the UFC was not without its challenges. As with many fighters, Elliott had to prove himself time and again, overcoming doubts and setbacks, whether in the form of difficult losses, injuries, or the mental stress of competing at a high level. His entry into the UFC came after consistent performances in regional promotions, where he demonstrated his well-rounded abilities and his mental strength. For fighters like Elliott, making it to the UFC is the culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and overcoming adversity. But being at the top of the fight game also brings immense pressure. Fighters are constantly being tested, not only physically but mentally. The world of the UFC is unforgiving, and every loss or subpar performance is scrutinized by fans, analysts, and even the media. This pressure can break many fighters, but for someone like Oban Elliott, it appears to fuel him. This aligns closely with Stoic principles of resilience and focusing on growth through challenges. For Elliott, the emphasis is likely on mastering his craft, learning from every experience, and recognizing that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. Stoicism in the UFC, principles and how they manifest in Oban Elliott's career. 1. Focus on what's within your control. Stoic principle. One of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy is understanding the dichotomy of control. This principle teaches that we should focus our energy and attention on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and decisions, while accepting that we cannot control external factors, including the actions of others, the weather, or even the outcome of a fight. Oban Elliott's application. In MMA, a fighter cannot control the outcome of a fight, nor can they always control the behavior or tactics of their opponent. The unpredictability of the sport means that every fight has an element of risk and uncertainty. However, what Oban Elliott can control is his preparation, his mindset, and how he reacts to both victory and defeat. He can refine his techniques, improve his physical condition, and prepare mentally for the challenges ahead. In this way, he embodies the Stoic mindset of focusing on his own efforts rather than stressing about things beyond his control. Example: if Elliott faces an opponent with superior striking or wrestling skills, he can't change those facts on the fly, but he can adjust his strategy, remain calm under pressure, and focus on his own execution, whether that's using his footwork to evade strikes or using his grappling to neutralize an opponent's advantages. Training. A key part of Elliott's preparation involves months of grueling training. His routine likely revolves around a mix of physical conditioning, technical drills, and mental preparation. This relentless focus on what he can control, his training, his mindset, and his response to adversity aligns perfectly with Stoic practices. 2. Emotional resilience and mastery. Stoic principle. The Stoics believed that emotions, such as fear, anger, and anxiety, are natural but should not dominate our behavior. Instead, we must cultivate emotional resilience through reason and discipline. This does not mean suppressing emotions, but rather mastering them so that they do not cloud our judgment or lead to rash decisions. Oban Elliott's application. Mixed martial arts is an incredibly emotional sport. Fighters must control their fear, anger, and frustration during intense moments, both in training and during actual fights. Oban Elliott's ability to keep his emotions in check and stay focused under pressure is likely one of the reasons he has been successful in the octagon. Example: let's imagine a scenario where Elliott is losing a round or facing an opponent who is landing strikes at will. A typical emotional reaction might be frustration, panic, or anger. However, a Stoic mindset would encourage Elliott to take a breath, remain calm, and respond logically, adjusting his tactics, analyzing the situation, and using his skills to regain control of the fight. Mental preparation. Fighters like Elliott often practice visualization techniques before fights, mentally preparing for all possible outcomes. This aligns with the Stoic practice of preparing for the worst-case scenario while remaining calm. Whether it's a tough opponent, a bad decision from the referee, or an injury, Elliott would use mental training to keep his emotional state balanced and rational. 3. Virtue over external rewards. Stoic principle. For the Stoics, the highest good is virtue, not external rewards such as wealth, fame, or success. These things are considered external and out of our control, so Stoics do not allow them to define their happiness. What matters most is developing inner virtues, such as courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance, that guide one's actions and decisions. Oban Elliott's application. While the UFC is undoubtedly a high-stakes, lucrative career with the potential for fame and fortune, Oban Elliott's mindset likely focuses on internal rewards rather than external validation. His commitment to his craft, pursuit of excellence in his training, and his growth as a fighter are what drive him, rather than the fame or financial rewards that might come with a championship. Example: many fighters fall into the trap of seeking validation through title belts or sponsorships. For Elliott, the Stoic mindset would encourage him to focus not on being the champion, but on being the best version of himself, improving his skills, mastering his emotions, and always learning. Winning or losing a fight would not be seen as a final judgment of his worth. 4. Facing adversity with courage. Stoic principle. Courage, in Stoic philosophy, is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face fear and act virtuously despite it. The Stoics taught that adversity is a natural part of life and should be embraced as an opportunity to grow and strengthen one's character. Oban Elliott's application. MMA is filled with adversity. Fighters face the risk of injury, defeat, and constant physical strain. For someone like Oban Elliott, adversity is not something to avoid but to confront with courage and resilience. Example: if Elliott were to experience a tough loss, it wouldn't break him. Rather than dwell on the defeat or become discouraged, he would see it as an opportunity to grow. He might spend hours watching tape, learning from his mistakes, and developing new strategies. The Stoic approach would allow him to approach loss not as a failure, but as a challenge that contributes to his development. Physical and mental courage. In training, Elliott faces brutal sparring sessions, difficult conditioning drills, and the challenge of constantly improving his skills. Stoicism would guide him to face each of these challenges head-on, knowing that true growth comes from stepping outside one's comfort zone. 5. Self-reflection and continuous improvement. Stoic principle. The Stoics believed in daily self-reflection, examining one's actions, thoughts, and decisions. This regular practice of self-examination helps individuals refine their character, build wisdom, and continue to improve themselves over time. Oban Elliott's application. As a fighter, self-reflection is crucial. After each training session and fight, Elliott likely takes time to review his performance, identify areas for improvement, and set new goals. This self-examination helps him continue to evolve as a fighter and as a person. Example: after each fight, whether a win or a loss, Oban Elliott would likely analyze his technique, his mindset during the fight, and his ability to adapt to his opponent's strategy. A fighter like Elliott, with a stoic outlook, sees each fight as a learning experience. This approach not only helps him in the octagon, but also prepares him for the mental challenges of future fights. Growth beyond the fight. Stoic self-reflection extends beyond the physical realm of fighting. Elliott's mental toughness and emotion. Conclusion: the Stoic fighter's journey. Oban Elliott's rise in the UFC is a testament to the power of mental discipline, resilience, and continuous improvement. His approach to fighting mirrors many Stoic principles, focusing on what he can control, mastering his emotions, embracing adversity, and continuously striving for personal growth. In the unforgiving world of the UFC, where every fighter is a target for criticism, and where one's fate often lies in the hands of fate or a single moment of vulnerability, Stoicism provides a grounding force. It offers a fighter like Elliott the mental tools to weather any storm, whether it's an unexpected loss, a difficult training camp, or the pressure to perform under the spotlight. By embodying the Stoic ideals of courage, emotional resilience, and continuous self-improvement, Oban Elliott sets himself on a path not only to success in the UFC, but also to living a life defined by integrity.